$40,000 renovation grants. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. At my stein of coffee, I thought we'd have a look at this article, which is talking about the $40,000 renovation grants that they're going to be handing out to people here in Australia. $40,000, guys. Who wouldn't take advantage of that? But let's just think, what do you think will happen if there's a flood of grants to people to do renovations or build new homes around Australia? What do you think will happen to the construction industry? What do you think will happen to the trades? There'll be reduced supply and more demand. It'll shoot right back up. Will the $40,000 that we're given, that may sound like, oh, I could do that kitchen renovation, I could do that bathroom. In my perspective, I could re-stump the house. Or what if that $40,000 only has a tenth of the purchasing power because everything will go up because of supply and demand? We'll have to see, guys. We'll have to see. And then remember, all this money that's being paid out by the government will have to be paid back in one way or another. In one way or another. So, do up your home for free. Australian homeowners could be given grants of up to $40,000 to build or renovate their properties under a $4 billion tradie rescue package. Government's tipped to bring in the new plan to save the Australian construction industry. The federal government is considering giving householders cash grants for home renovations under a multi-billion-dollar stimulus package to boost the economy. Prime Minister Scott Morrison on Monday confirmed discussions are underway about a fourth cash splash aimed at saving jobs of 1.2 million tradesmen. The government will also discuss offering first home buyers a $40,000 incentive to buy or build a new home and broaden the scope for who can access the grants. It comes after the pandemic crippled the housing industry and cost an estimated 70,000 tradesmen their jobs. Construction of new homes plummeted throughout the crisis, along with most other economic activity, and authorities fear it will be slow to revive. So, as I was discussing in other videos, they are literally chucking everything they can at the property sector, at the housing sector, guys. If this happens, do you think we'll see any declines in property? Do you think house prices will go down if there's this much demand? We'll have to see, guys. Who wouldn't be taking? If there's a grant, $40,000, I'll be lining up to take it. Even though I know this is not an innovative approach. Although I'm probably going to be worse off in the long run. See, this is the thing. You want to be one of the first ones to get the grant so you can get the maximum benefit before there's a shortage of tradies. So I better get on to my finishing off my architectural and structural drawings real quick. So we'll have to see if there's a flood of town planning applications, a flood of building approvals. That'll be a number to watch next month, or when we get the latest data, is to see if that spurred people into action. The $4 billion cash grant scheme would encourage homeowners to make changes to their properties and provide tradesmen with immediate work, which could create an estimated 58,311 new jobs, the Australian report. But there would be limits on the type of renovations that could be undertaken, and Mr. Morrison warned there would be safeguards in place to avoid people rorting the system. You've got to try and avoid the rorting and people taking advantage of it, Mr. Morrison told 2GB on Monday. I mean, this all seems very similar to what was happening during the Rudd days. Remember the pink bats? Remember the issue there with the installation in the roofs when people were dying? Even though Australians have been amazing during this crisis, there's still those that will do the wrong things. So, I mean, 40 grand. What could you do with it, guys? Master Builders Australia Chief Executive Danita Warren said the proposed package would save small businesses from a potential catastrophe. But here's another thing that hasn't been mentioned in this article. This is going to exacerbate the divide. The divide between the poor who aren't in the housing market or who are aspiring to get in the housing market and those that are. Those that are. If people spend money on renovations, do you think that's going to decrease the value of their property? Do you think it's going to make housing more affordable? Do you think the housing grants for new home buyers, that's going to inflate that sector? There's going to be more of a disparity, guys. And we're all going to pay for it, one way or another, in taxation. Either increased taxes that we have to pay, or MMT magic, all these other things, we will pay. All of us citizens pay it one way or another in the end. She said the addition of renovations in the scheme, which also plans to broaden the first home buyer's allowance, bypasses the red tape of requesting planning approvals. How does it? Ms. Warren agreed certain criteria should be met for the types of property renovations people could apply for, including making homes more resilient to natural disasters like fires and floods. Oh, well, there you go. I'm in. Restumping and raising a Queenslander. I tick all those boxes right there. Homeowners should also be able to use the grant money to rectify cladding and asbestos concerns, Ms. Warren suggested. Economic modelling commissioned by the business determined the entire stimulus package could generate upwards of 105,000 jobs in the wake of the crisis. Already the industry has taken a significant hit for 2021 and 21-22. Instead of the 59,000 new homes scheduled for completion by 2021, there is only 116. Based on previous economic downturns, the modelling warns it will likely take the construction industry 4 times longer to recover than other sectors. We have seen that government can fast-track construction activity in response to natural disasters, and the pandemic is shaping up as an economic disaster, Ms. Warren said. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg is expected to confirm the details of the scheme after it is considered by the Cabinet Expenditure Review Committee this week. Wow, and here's the master builders. Their proposed stimulus measures, everyone. So they've released a series of proposals in the wake of the pandemic to keep the construction industry afloat. We are calling for measures such as commissioning local builders to immediately commence maintenance, refurbishment and renovation works on government buildings and facilities around the country. This will not require extensive planning, could be actioned quickly, and will provide work for thousands of small businesses and local communities. She also called on the government to bring forward any planned government spends for 2021 to give the industry a much-needed boost. Some of the proposals are outlined below. Support ongoing building of house and land packages through interest-free loans. First homeowners grant of $40,000 for those buying or building new homes. Expanding the number of first home loan deposit scheme loans. Instant tax write-off. Extension of negative gearing for property investors to undertake renovations to rental properties. Currently can only claim maintenance, and could include upgrades that provide for the home to be more energy efficient, which in turn assists in reducing living costs. No, it doesn't. Okay, I know that's what they tell you. It's only if you have an air conditioning system in there and you've got insulation, so it's a little bit more efficient. Compared to the cost of that insulation, it's a 50-year payback. No matter how inefficient our power generation becomes to the point where it costs more. A better way would be just to not have all these perks. Financial support to homeowners through the use of registered building practitioners to facilitate home renovations on properties that are pre-6-star requirements to enable them to be more energy efficient. Changes in windows, improved in heating and cooling appliances, and on making the home more accessible for elderly to maximize the ability to stay in their home for longer. Contributing towards cladding rectification on apartments. So there you go. This is their proposal. So, what do we have? The $40,000 home deposit, grants of up to $10,000 to various... I mean, this is crazy, guys. This is just crazy. So you can see, and I'll link to this if you want to go through the rest of this article. You can see that they are literally throwing everything they can to stimulate the housing sector, to keep the construction going. How will this affect property prices? How will this affect the, growing wealth disparity between people? What about our good friend that has 200 homes? Remember, we looked at him in a video before. If he'll get a $40,000 grant and rectify each property, I mean, why not? It'll add jobs. It's the whole scheme of this. We'll have to see, guys. What do you think? Would you take advantage of this? Do you have a job? Do you plan to do it? Do you have a home? Or are you jumping into the market and having a look at it? So definitely something to keep an eye on, guys. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions. Are you in the trades? Are you in construction? Are you looking forward to this stimulus? Or you earn as much as you can and flip it all over to gold and silver? As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and you'd like to support us, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay, or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care.